doesn't love a good board game? Different video today. Instead of just like chaotic stories that I've seen, I guess, we have something I found while digging through my old room while moving into my new room, and it is. Oh, do I want you guys to know? Fuck it. My board game that I made when I was like in primary school, so I'd have been like 8-ish. I'm assuming by the fact that I wrote 6+ on the box, I was not like lower than 6, because that would be just kind of stupid. It's a 4-player board game I made, based on Mega Evolution, and since I am famously a master of board games and just games in general, I decided I wanted to remake this, and I've already got ideas, but let's just analyze it, see what's happening, and we'll decide what's going on, I guess. Alright, so I don't have one of those fancy, YouTuber cameras that kind of like go over stuff and you can like see what the YouTuber's doing. That was meant to be a wave, for the record. So instead, I'm just gonna stand here with my hair covering my face like a fucking idiot, and look at this, and see what happens. So, first up, we have the bloody mankiest dice ever. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. Might have to replace that. I do have options. Anyway, we have... I don't want to lose that. We have spelling test sheet, which we can keep the same because I kept all of my schoolwork, and I like doing rough sketches and stuff on my schoolwork anyway, so we can keep that. We have the board with all the artistic talent of, an 8-year-old, with Team Houndoom, Team Sharpedo, Team Alakazam, and Team Gardevoir, which can all Mega Evolve. And basically, there is no rule sheet, because God forbid an older version of myself forget the rules of this incredible game I made. But I think the general idea was you go like up these like pathways into these arenas, and then you fight. If you're Team Houndoom, you fight Team Sharpedo. If you're Team Alakazam, you fight Team Gardevoir. This is very unfair, by the way. Why the fuck would I put a water type against a fire type? That is literally the main thing.
I also have no idea how I plan to run these battles. Like, what? I really did not think that through. Jeez.
Whatever. So, I guess if you're Team Sharpedo, you just win, and then you get to, like, go over here, and I guess you, like, get your Mega Stone, because the idea is to get your Mega Stone, and then you go down to here, and then the two winners of these two matches, so basically Sharpedo versus either Alakazam or Gardevoir, which means if Alakazam wins the fight against the Gardevoir, Sharpedo just wins, because it's a physical dark type. Okay, so balancing is something we need. I'm not sure if you heard the WhatsApp notification, but I'm going with it, whatever.
Unfortunately, they had not heard the notification, and now he looked like a complete idiot.
And also we just need to make it more entertaining, because just rolling a dice and then battling people doesn't really work, because you can't fucking Pokemon battle on a board game, which I don't think I ever figured out how to do that, to be honest. But sure, whatever. I remember doing a Garchomp. It just feels like the Megas are also pretty random, so maybe. So add in more Megas, that's what we can do. And, so add in more Megas, perhaps some of my own Megas, perhaps we'll do only my Pokemon, perhaps we'll do, some actual Pokemon mixed in there. Who knows, we'll just, see what happens, but just generally add more Mega Pokemon. And then we have the counters for the Pokemon. We have the Mega form, which is Mega Sharpedo, aka the winner of the whole game, and we have Mega Gardevoir here. So Perhaps make the counters a tiny bit bigger. Yeah, make the counters a bit bigger, and also just generally kind of make them look a bit nicer, because let's be fucking real, these don't look nice. You can barely tell what's on them. And then we have the Megastone. Yeah, we're also making that look better. So, general stuff, we want better balancing, which means perhaps removing types. Actually, it would probably just be better if we remove types altogether. So, types don't matter. To make it more balanced, and that way we can be more creative with what megas we have in. Make the game more entertaining, because, fuck's sake, just going on... We're not playing Snakes and Ladders with Pokemon battles. We're not doing that. Although, no, we'll come back to that. Perhaps, like, add in some of my own Pokemon, add in more Mega Forms to choose from. Perhaps some team customization, who knows? And perhaps make the battles make more sense. Because, again, I don't think I ever figured out how the battles would work. Alright, let's get to it.
I started by redrawing the game pieces, measuring out a game piece that I actually have, and then scaling it down to the board size I have. It took not that long of designing before I decided on this sort of front-facing, head-only look for the base forms, and which then developed into this kind of action shot of the Mega Evolutions with like energy bursting off of the card. I of course did not take into account that I would need to cut out these spiky buggers.
Well, that sucked. Good thing I don't have to do it again.
Well, I mean, it wasn't actually that bad as it turns out, because I cut out Mega Gardevoir before the other ones, so I made the other ones less spiky, so it would be easier to cut out. Anyway, drawing this board took like 3 or 4 hours, but hey, at least it looks cool. I think it looks pretty cool. So with the board made, you'll notice that there are 4 distinct corners and 4 distinct Megastones to access. These are, of course, our 4 teams. So, who are they? Team 1 is the Pixies. Their area is designed after fairy circles because they're both fairy types. Well, not anymore, but they were both fairy types. We, of course, have Gardevoir, who, I don't know, I kind of felt like I needed to have in this new game, and Steptew. But I don't know if to call myself my real name or my YouTube name. But person isn't... Steptew can't Mega Volt. Yes, it can. Here's Mega Steptew. I'll clarify it more in an upcoming video about Iron Pokemon that I gave new forms to in the Renean region. But look at it, Mega Steptew. Yippee! Team 2 is the Bad Boys, aka Houndoom and Sharpedo. Once again, kind of just felt a bit of a duty to include these guys, especially Sharpedo. And, you know, since those two were so, like, unfairly matched up in the original game, and they're both kind of dark types, and dogs, you know, the whole sea puppy thing with sharks. I figured they could team up now and be friends, and I think it's adorable. There's not really much to talk about because, you know, they're both dark types who are friends, I guess, and they're not like new Pokemon, so I don't need to clarify them. But just look at them. Here we go. Not sure how well the Mega Forms turned out on the counters, but I think they worked out well enough. Next up, we have potentially my favourite team, but that might just be because one of the Pokemon is just really weird. We have the Elders. Their area looks like an archaeological dig site, and they are old fucking Pokemon, I don't know. We, of course, have Kabutops, who I gave a Mega Evolution for the Renean region. Not sure what type of video either of these guys would show up in, but if you do, then let me know, since I've already done the fossil Pokemon video, but whatever. And next up, we have one of my more conflicting Pokemon in the Renean region, whether I like it or not. We have Ecomation. Now, I know it looks boring from its first form, and I know it looks wild in its Mega Evolution, but there is a reason for that, which I'm not going to clarify, because why not? Again, if you have any idea for what type of video these guys could show up in, maybe like a fossil video part 2, I don't know, but just know it's an ancient Pokemon that, you know, it's very fucking old. Yeah, they team up because old Pokemon. Uh, Sorry, there's not really much else to say other than to just clarify what the Pokemon are. Yeah. And last but maybe least, I don't know, we have the tag team, which are probably the most disconnected Pokemon on a team, but I added them together because, Kangaskhan's whole thing is that it has a kid, and when it Mega Evolves, the kid and the adult are now teamed up and helping each other out. And Tatsugiri's whole gimmick... It was Tatsugiri, right? Yeah, Tatsugiri's whole gimmick is that it goes inside the mouth of Dondozo, and they kind of team up to help defeat their foes. Since I had a Mega Tatsugiri, I thought, hell, might as well add it in. And this also means I have I think, good mix of Megas / original Pokemon I made and pre-existing Mega Pokemon. So that's fun. But how would you play this game? Well, you are on one of 4 teams. Each team has 2 Pokemon on it. Your Pokemon will walk along a certain path with each spot on the path having a certain point value. You must go back to your trainer to deposit the points for the point to count. You can attack other Pokemon to steal their points, or you can attack other trainers to steal their points, if you feel so inclined. And there are Mega Stones on the ends of each path. If you gain a Mega Stone, then you can Mega Evolve, meaning that all of your XP is doubled. What is XP? Well, you gain XP for movement. For example, if you move 6 spaces, you'll have 6 XP. Once you gain a Mega Stone, you don't gain any actual points. However, you do get double the XP. So if you move 6 spaces and then you Mega Evolve, you will have 12 XP, and then if you get 3 more XP, that is then double of 9, so you now have 18. XP is what decides the battles between Pokemon. If you have more XP, then you win the battle. That's about it. After a certain amount of rounds, game ends, and you tally up the points. I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna just stop the video at that, but it feels a bit abrupt, so just bye bye. If you enjoyed, subscribe. Thanks.